an inclusive.
Ma'am, now I request the DGP to give an overview of Home Department and make a presentation.
Respected Honorable Chief Minister, Sri Jagan Garu, respected Home Minister, senior ministers, the Chief Secretary, other Chief Secretaries, my dear senior officers and colleagues from the government service, those who are present here, on behalf of Andhra Pradesh Police, we extend our greetings and welcome to this gathering. At the outset, I must thank the Honorable Chief Minister for having given me this opportunity to head this police, this esteemed Andhra Pradesh Police, which has always been a front runner in the policing domain in the country. AP Police has a very proud legacy, whether it's combating terrorism. Historically, we have several institutions like Greyhound, SIB, CICL, Octopus, which has always been a front runner. It had a world-class training facilities like our police academy. It was one of the states which is most advanced in forensics until about a decade ago. Several reforms and standardizations in the policing were visible in our state. We were also amongst the first in dealing with cybercrime, white-collar offences. At the same time, various security systems and even police communications, AP states was known. As well as innovations and technology adoption, we were among the forefront. Andhra Pradesh Police was a role model for all others to adopt, emulate and replicate. And with that, that's the kind of legacy that we carry with us, and we are very proud of that, sir. The profile of AP Police as we stand poised on the ground, the strength 73,366. We have 12,368 home guards, 989 police stations, 195 circles, 90 subdivisions, police districts 16, 2 commissionerates, and 5 ranges, and we have 8 special armed police battalions. Now, as regards the duties and responsibility of the police, there are a lot of expectations, and these are the few duties and responsibilities amongst the many that we have listed out. Protect life, liberty, property of human rights and dignity, prevent and detain crimes, enforce and uphold rule of law, promote and preserve public order, protect internal security, intervene during disaster and distress, manage traffic on the roads and highways, amongst many. Now, we are all aware that the primary responsibility of the police, other than individuals, is maintaining law and order in the society. And we are also aware that law and order, peace and stability is absolutely essential for progress and development in any society. So therefore, we look at those concerns in the state of Andhra Pradesh that exists before us, which we, police of Andhra Pradesh, need to tackle and deal with to provide a stable atmosphere for the state to progress and develop. And they have been listed out: left-wing extremism, caste and communal conflicts, social vices and organized crime, development and related displacements, security of VIPs and installation, factions and political unrest. All of them have potential to disrupt and cause disturbances. If you look at the left-wing extremism, we have the sway over 5 districts, traditionally on the Andhra-Orissa border, and also with the recent areas of Chintur subdivision coming in, bordering Chhattisgarh. Now, apart from these 5 conventional interior areas, we also have issues about frontal and mass organization, which exists in urban centers, in mostly all over the state, starting from Tirupati, whether it's Guntur, Nellore, Kurnool, Vijayawada, or Eluru, Rajahmundry, Visakhapatnam, Srikakulam. All over the state, we see the activities of frontal and mass organization. We are aware that left-wing extremists generally look for issues to engage, issues to mobilize, organize, and the masses and veer them towards agitational politics. And the issues are very many. Some of them have been listed out. Some of the issues have been listed out, but they are not all encompassing, because issues keep emerging and they'll keep looking for opportunities to engage and involve in issues and around which they would like to create awareness, generate interest of the masses, mobilize them, organize them, and then lead them, veer them towards agitational politics, and thereby create disturbances in the society. There are methodologies, the actions we have listed out: eliminate political and other targets, attack security forces, obstruct developmental activities. They also deploy action teams for very pointed actions. Now, all these activities, the objective is to usher in new democratic revolution and seize state power. So this is always a lurking danger that we always have, and we are also aware the capacity which the left-wing extremists, particularly the Maoists, have in creating terror in the state. So therefore, it always needs police to be on our toes and be alert and constantly be one step ahead of them. And sir, Andhra Pradesh Police, we have again a legacy of being on the forefront in dealing with this left-wing extremism. On the other hand, if you look at the Maoist violence, there has been a decreasing trend. Some sporadic incidents here and there, whenever they need to really show their existence or inflict some kind of a damage to the state, they keep on indulging. Other than that, other law and order and security concerns, we have the caste and communal conflicts. In the recent years, we see that there's more and more polarization along caste and communal sectarian issues, which would also create disturbances every now and then, depending upon situation, circumstances, and the issues. We also have seen rising fundamentalism, both in national and international, which is also an area where police needs to be always alert. And we have our intelligence as well as using technology. We are also coordinating across the country and beyond on this realm. Social vices and organized crime is also another area. Betting and gambling, trafficking, bootlegging, narcotics and drugs, adulteration, which also causes disturbance in the society. We also have many issues associated with development. Whenever any development programs are undertaken, industries are being put in place or being intended, we see a lot of agitation and disturbances. There are issues surrounding Polavaram, SEZ, Vamsadhara, Bhogapuram International Airport, nuclear power plant at Kovada. These are few of them. There are many other than this. Similarly, security of VIPs and installations is also an area which needs our attention, sir. Apart from which, we also have this traditional problem surrounding faction and political unrest, particularly post-elections. We still have some simmering issues emerging, but we anticipate that it's not an organized but very localized. So therefore, very soon we will be able to contain them, sir. But as long as it exists, it will cause disturbances in the society. With the post-election and upcoming local body elections also, there's a need for us to be quite prompt on that, on our toes. Now, coming to crime, sir, if you see, this is a broad outlook in terms of the nature of crime, what is reported in Andhra Pradesh. We have about 880 murder cases annually. We also listed crime against women, and that's also a priority area, a matter of concern for us, as well as road accidents. Last year, as many as 7,400 people died, lost their lives in the roads. And last year has been the minimum, because year before last 2 years, it had crossed 8,000, about 8,500 and 8,100 odd was the figures. So there is a huge loss of human life, precious lives. So there is a need for us to look at that area as well. Now, looking at crime patterns and trends in the state, we see once again bodily offenses, crimes against women, white-collar crimes, and road accidents to be one of the major heads of crime that engages us. Property, as regard the property offenses, there is a decreasing trend visible, sir. If you compare to up to May, and one of the reasons is basically police being very brisk and present on the ground in the wake of the elections that we had. As regards property offences, the top 5 units where the property offences are maximum are listed: Vijayawada City, West Godavari, Guntur Urban, Nellore, and East Godavari. Similarly, the bodily offences, overall there has been a decrease, but if you look at up to May, we see that rioting and hurt cases have been increased. That is again primarily related to the election campaign and post-election time. And as regards bodily offences, the first top 5 units, as usual, Guntur Rural has seen the maximum number of instances of bodily offences, which is also a matter of concern. If the pattern becomes a little huge, there's a matter of concern needing interventions and special measures for that. White-collar offences, there is an increasing trend in the white-collar offences. If you see, mostly cheating and criminal breach of trust, and as well as the new areas, new domains, which is cybercrime, which will come to that later. And amongst the white-collar offences, we see the maximum in West Godavari, Visakhapatnam City, Vijayawada. And this may also have its own peculiar characteristic in a very localized manner. Crime against women, there has been a decreasing trend overall, but it's an area of concern and a very continuous engagement from our side. There will be special measures from our side addressing primarily crime against women and children. And this is one area where always no amount of work is enough, because not all crime gets reported because of the reasons that exists in our traditional and conservative societies. If you look at the crime against women, once again, Guntur, Krishna, Kurnool, Visakhapatnam City, and West Godavari has registered the maximum number of cases. And crime against women, as I said, also relates to the ease of reporting, and in some state districts we see that they come forth and complain. Cases against the weaker sections, particularly SC/ST offences, overall there has been a decrease, but then again that's an area of concern. So therefore we'll be also very constantly monitoring and watching that. And up to May this year, if you see the comparative statement of crime, there has been a decrease, but we see that hurt cases once again related to election period. Crime against the weaker section, SC/STs, once again amongst the top 5 units you find Guntur, Kurnool registering the maximum number of cases, followed by Prakasham, West Godavari, and Kadapa. Road accident, as I said, sir, is an area of much concern. During last year, AP Police was amongst the top 2 states where we have been able to intervene and see that the trend is bucked, and then the increase has been contained as in the past it was. So if you see today with regards to the road safety per lakh population, Andhra Pradesh stands 10th, in 10th position if you relate it to deaths per lakh for population. As I mentioned, 2018 it was the second best performing state. And road safety is a domain, is an area which needs multiple stakeholder intervention, starting from education, engineering, enforcement, environment and emergency care needs as well, post-accident needs, also integration of all emergency response and stakeholders to reduce the death. The golden hour concept is very critical during road accident strategies that we put in place. There is also a need to evolve a state policy and a strategy to deal with this, with the rate kind of casualties that is being visible on the ground on a daily basis. These are the figures which reflects the situation on the ground. And if you see, sir, the road accidents up to May this year, once again the top 5 units where we see maximum, and most of these deaths are occurring in the national highways and state highways. Coming to crime against children, that's also another area that needs attention. It has been consistently quite high in the state. So we also need to have devise strategies, and that is also a focus area of this government. We shall also be undertaking special measures for that, sir. And as far as reporting is concerned, top 5 units: Guntur rural, West Godavari, Krishna, Prakasham, Guntur and urban. Sir. Coming to cyber crime, this is again a new area where we find increasing trend in terms of offences, and we see that up to May there has been unusually large number of cybercrime instances. So there is a need for police to really build our capacities and keep pace with that rising expectations, and which is only likely to increase in times to come. So therefore we really need to be very proactive and futuristic in this. Once again, sir, most of these top 5 units, Visakhapatnam City, Srikakulam, Vijayawada, Visakhapatnam Rural and West Godavari has been registering the maximum number of cases during the year, sir. We also have issues about drugs and narcotic substances, both in terms of traditional ganja cultivation, trade and distribution and use. At the same time, new drugs are also coming in, particularly in the cities. So that's another area where we need to really focus and see that we arrest, not only arrest, but then try to eradicate these problems. As regards the cases, once again, sir, we see a trend centering around Visakhapatnam City and rural, registering the maximum number of cases. Sir, Andhra Pradesh Police today faces many challenges. We are all aware the kind of challenges, particularly post-bifurcation. There were several key and critical institutional capacities which we had to forego and leave behind in Hyderabad. That has really seriously incapacitated us and put us in a handicapped situation. We have police training academy we do not have. We may run a makeshift academy at Anantapur PTC, Forensic Sciences Lab, or as well as this anti-extremist training institutions and establishments like Greyhounds, Octopus, and all our technology and R&D facilities